It was the gray that got to Layla first. The sky, the pavement, the slick bricks of the unfamiliar buildings, all washed in the same damp, colorless shade. Moving cities in the middle of the school year felt like being erased. At 14, she had carefully built a self back in her old town. Here, she was just a quiet, blank space in the hallway. The final bell was a release. Her 12-year-old brother, Yusuf, still sparking with the energy of a new adventure, bounced beside her. "Race you to the corner," he chirped. But Layla just shook her head, pulling her coat tighter. The drizzle was turning to proper rain. As they turned down a side street, the sound of other kids, loud, belonging, drifted toward them. "Hey, Yusuf," a boy's voice called, sharp with mock curiosity. "Is it true you have to stop and pray 5 times a day, even in the middle of a football match?" Layla saw her brother's shoulders hunch. "It's called Salah," he mumbled. "And yeah, sometimes." "Do you get a timeout for it?" Another voice laughed. The laughter was like pins. Layla stepped forward, finding a voice she didn't know she had. "Leave him alone." "Or what, quiet girl?" the first boy shot back. Just then, a bike bell shattered the tension. The group whooped and scattered on their bicycles, leaving Layla and Yusuf alone in the wet, quiet alley. "Thanks," Yusuf whispered, his earlier brightness gone. "Just ignore them," Layla said, but the words felt hollow. "Let's go home." "But Mom mentioned the gelato place," Yusuf tried. "We're lost, Yusuf." "We are not. I know this." He squinted at a grimy stone gargoyle leering from a gutter pipe. "Wait, is that the same weird gargoyle we passed 10 minutes ago?" They were. Circles. And Layla's phone, their digital compass, was a dead black rectangle in her hand. The rain thickened, soaking into their jackets. A sudden, mischievous gust of wind snaked down the alley, rattling a sign above them. It sent a scatter of autumn leaves skittering across the cobblestones, and with it, a single dry maple leaf tapped against a wooden door neither had noticed before. It was nestled between a shuttered laundrettes and the towering office block. The door was painted a deep faded blue, like the twilight sky just before the stars appear. Above it, in elegant peeling gold script, it read, "The Seekers Bookshop." A soft, warm light glowed from the window, illuminating shelves that seemed to breathe, packed of books of every size and age. "Maybe they have a map," Yusuf said, hope returning. With a shared glance, they pushed the door open. A bell jingled, not a sharp, modern ring, but a soft, ancient ting-a-ling. The air inside was a perfume of old paper, sandalwood, and faint, sweet spice. It was utterly silent, yet full of a kind of humming peace. And behind the polished oak counter stood a man who seemed as much a part of the shop as the shelves. He had a kind face framed by a neat gray beard and eyes that held a patient, knowing light. "Assalamu alaikum," he said, his voice like rustling pages. "You seem to have misplaced your way." "We're looking for Elm Street," Layla said, trying to sound sure. "Ah," the man smiled, "a worthy destination. But some paths are found not with street signs, but with different kinds of maps. I am Jamal." He moved around the counter, his gaze falling on Yusuf, who was peering at a massive leather-bound book on a reading stand. It was a Quran, its pages edged in gold. "It's beautiful," Yusuf breathed. "It is," Uncle Jamal agreed. "It contains many maps. Maps for the heart, for the soul, for a life well lived." He gently turned a page. The very first instruction in this book is not to build a city or fight a battle. It is simply read. As he spoke, a loose piece of parchment, thin and aged, slipped from between the pages and fluttered to the floor. Layla picked it up. It wasn't a modern map. It was drawn in delicate, intricate ink lines, showing not streets, but a winding path through what looked like a garden, a mosque, a marketplace, all surrounding a central, radiant point. In the corner, in beautiful Arabic calligraphy, was a single word, al-ikhlas, sincerity. Uncle Jamal's eyes twinkled. It seems a map has found its seekers. Every heart has one, you know. You just need to learn how to read it. He placed the ancient Quran gently in Layla's hands. It felt warm and heavier than it looked. The first direction is always the same, he said softly, pointing to the first lines on the page. Read, in the name of your Lord who created. The bell on the door jingled again. Outside, the gray afternoon had deepened. But inside the blue door, for the first time since they'd arrived, Layla and Yusuf didn't feel lost at all. They felt on the brink of something. And the map in Layla's hand seemed to hum with a silent, waiting story. The blue door of the Seekers Bookshop had closed behind Layla and Yusuf, but the warmth of it seemed to follow them home, like a secret held close against the damp city air. The mysterious map was tucked safely in Layla's journal, but it was the weight of the ancient Quran's words that truly lingered. For a few days, life painted itself in ordinary colors. There was unpacked box here, a hesitant hello at school there, but then, on Thursday morning, a small storm broke. It was Yusuf's fault, and he knew it. He'd been fidgeting with his most precious possession, a brass compass that had belonged to his grandfather. Its glass face was scratched, its needles sometimes sticking, but to Yusuf, it was a piece of the man who taught him which way was Mecca, who pointed out the North Star, and whose voice was steady as a lighthouse. He was spinning it on the kitchen table, watching the painted arrow blur into a golden circle, when their mother called. "Yusuf, the rubbish bin is overflowing. Take it out before the truck comes." In his hurry, his elbow caught the compass. It skittered across the table, flew over the edge, and with a terrible, final clink, disappeared straight into the dark, overstuffed mouth of the kitchen bin. "No!" He lunged, but it was too late. Outside, the grinding roar of the garbage truck was already echoing down the street. By the time he reached the curb, breathless, the bin was empty, the truck was turning the corner, and the compass was gone. The world felt suddenly unmoored. At school, he was a ghost. The taunts from the boys in the alley seemed to echo in every hallway, but now they didn't sting as much as they just faded into a general grayness. He'd lost his anchor. That afternoon, they found themselves back on the cobbled street, pushing open the blue door. The bell's gentle chime felt like a sigh of relief. Uncle Jamal was polishing a set of old magnifying glasses. He took one look at Yusuf's face, a masterpiece of silent misery, and set down his cloth. "A lost treasure?" he asked gently. "My grandfather's compass," Yusuf whispered, the words thick. "It's gone forever." Layla, trying to help, offered practical solutions. "We could call the sanitation department, or maybe buy a metal detector?" Uncle Jamal shook his head slowly, a soft smile on his face. Some things, once lost to the world, cannot be retrieved by searching the world. He gestured for them to follow him to a corner where two worn velvet armchairs sat. "But that does not mean you are lost." He settled into his own chair, the leather sighing beneath him. There is an older story of a traveler who lost his way. Not in a city, but in a desert so vast the dunes were like golden waves on a motionless sea. He had a map, a sturdy camel, and a full water skin, but in a fierce sandstorm, he lost them all. The map flew away, the camel bolted, the water seeped into the thirsty sand. Alone, under a merciless sun, with no landmarks but endless shifting gold, he did the only thing his despair would allow. He collapsed onto the hot sand. And he began to pray. Not a formal, memorized prayer, but a raw, desperate cry from the deepest well of his heart. "O guide of the lost, point me toward your mercy." He prayed until his voice was a whisper and his forehead touched the ground. And in that moment of complete surrender, a strange calm settled over him. He felt a gentle, insistent breeze on the right side of his face. It was cool, unlike the scorching desert wind. He had no water, no camel, no map, but he had that breeze. So he got up and he began to walk, keeping that cool breeze on his cheek. He walked for hours, his lips cracked, his hope thin. And just as the sun began to bleed into the horizon, he crested a dune and saw below Not an oasis, but a single straight line carved through the desert. A trade road, and on it, a caravan. He was saved, Yusuf said, but he sounded unsure. He was found, Uncle Jamal corrected. His prayer did not magic the road into existence. The road was always there. His prayer stilled the panic in his heart, quieted the screaming of his fear, so he could feel the breeze, the subtle guidance that had been there all along. Prayer, salah, is not just a list of words and motions. It is your daily compass. It realigns you. It turns your heart, again and again, back to its true north, so that no matter how lost the world makes you feel, you are never truly adrift. He leaned forward. Your grandfather's compass showed you direction, but the salah he taught you, that connects you to the source of all direction. That evening, as a call to Maghrib prayer echoed from a nearby mosque app on his father's phone, Yusuf felt a heavy reluctance. His room was a mass of homework and loneliness. The ritual felt distant, a chore. But he remembered the desert traveler. He had nothing left but to try. He performed his ablutions, the cool water on his hands and face, a physical awakening. He unrolled his prayer mat, facing the Qibla direction he knew by heart, the direction his compass had always confirmed. As he stood, began his recitation, and bowed, the storm of the day, the loss, the taunts, the gray feeling, began to settle. In the silence of his prostration, his forehead on the ground, the moment of the traveler's surrender, he didn't hear a voice or feel a magical breeze, but he felt a different kind of knowing. The compass was gone, but he was not lost. He was connected to a line that stretched back through his grandfather, through all the believers, straight to the divine. It was a road that had always been there. He finished his prayer with Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, to his right and left, and a deeper peace settled within him. Later, as he was sorting through his school bag, a crumpled paper fell out. It was a flyer for the upcoming school charity fair, and as he flattened it, he saw, on the back, in his own rushed handwriting from weeks ago, a small doodled sketch of his grandfather's compass. He'd drawn the precise pattern of its rose, the crack in the glass. He hadn't found the object, but he had found the direction it represented. He traced the doodle with his finger, a slow smile forming. Uncle Jamal's voice seemed to whisper in the memory. Indeed, prayer prohibits immorality and wrongdoing, and it finds the lost. And in the quiet of his room, for the first time since the garbage truck roared away, Yusuf felt truly found.